3, 2, 1. According to score.org, for every dollar that is spent at a local business, 67 cents of that dollar stays in the community. Today I'm going to inform you about a small town called Viroqua that beat the odds and became the town that beat Walmart. First, I'm going to cover the background and then go through the current efforts that are being made. The reason you should listen is because of the current events that are going on and how it affects the economy, which affects these small businesses. So we can hop right into the 1980s. So the 1980s, there were three major moneymakers for Viroqua: tobacco, agriculture, and manufacturing. These all began to rapidly change as manufacturing jobs moved overseas and as farming operations began to grow and become really big operations. And because the Driftless region, they could not grow their farming operations, and Walmart decided they were going to build a store here in 1987. This meant that changes had to be made fast to save Viroqua. So the way the farmers tried and worked to save Viroqua was by creating a co-op so they could keep their small family farms, but also have a really big corporation that now is known as Organic Valley. Small businesses started to carry items that they had not carried before, but that Walmart did not carry. So this helped keep them competitive. And then the Main Street area adopted the Wisconsin Main Street program, and they were one of the first to do so in the state. And this helped to raise money to help bring new businesses in, help the old businesses, and then also help to restore the buildings on Main Street. So these efforts shifted into the 90s, and tobacco prices were dropping as was demand, and so farmers had to find another new way to make money, and so they moved to grapes. And now there are over 50 vineyards in the Viroqua region. And the Minnesota Public Radio said that between 1990 and 2000, thanks to all these awesome efforts, 56 new businesses were created in Viroqua. And in 1992, the Smithsonian Magazine dubbed Viroqua the town that beat Walmart. So now that you know about the background and how Viroqua was called the town that beat Walmart, we can now move into the current efforts that are being made to help keep this town thriving. So the Chamber Main Street is one really great organization that helps raise money and provides grants and writes up grants to help the Main Street. One major fundraiser they do is the Wine Walk, and another is the Beer Walk. And both of these fundraisers help support many programs throughout the community, but also one really big one and cool one that they do is pop-up shops. So this allows businesses to come in and do a 3-month trial with a free lease in a building on Main Street with the hopes that they will stay and continue to grow. And then some awesome businesses that really have helped bring people into Viroqua is the Viroqua Food Co-op, for example. They started out in the late 90s as a really small group of families wanting to come together and bring in healthier foods, and then they grew in 2005 to a 4,000 square foot facility, and now they have an 8,000 square foot facility that has retail space, and they sell a lot of foods that are local and healthy and organic, and they provide over 100 jobs, which is really awesome for the area. So it not only brings in families because of this really great grocery store we have, but also because of jobs. So the next place is Kickapoo Coffee, and they started out in 2005, and they wanted to create coffee that was equitable and sustainable. So they started in a small building and just had a warehouse where they'd roast them and then they'd ship them out to different grocery stores. But then they grew and they created a coffee shop that now has really great local food and also really great coffee and brings in people from Milwaukee, the Twin Cities, anywhere in the Midwest, you name it, Chicago even, people come for this, along with the Driftless Cafe. And this is owned by Luke and Ruthie Zom, and they grew up in the Driftless region, and then they moved to Madison, and then came back because they realized that they really wanted to help make a difference in this community and help it to continue to grow. And they do this by doing farm-to-table food, and so they serve food that's all local and all within 100 miles of the restaurant. And in addition, Chef Luke was nominated for the James Beard Culinary Award in 2017, which also helps to continue bringing people and helps to bring attention to the town. And he now hosts the Wisconsin Foodie on PBS. So they really have helped the community to grow in that way as well. And this is the Viroqua Food Enterprise Center, and this was a 100,000 square foot facility that was originally a manufacturing center that closed down in 2009 and now is a large industrial, basically kitchen, and they have multiple ones that are certified for people to produce their food and then sell it. And people can rent these spaces just as Kickapoo Coffee does to roast their beans. And it provides jobs and provides a really great outlet for businesses to grow out of. And this is the Main Street Station, and this is an indoor marketplace, and it is kind of supposed to be like this European looking indoor marketplace shop, and it has multiple vendors where they can have their own businesses on a smaller scale. And this also is a really great tourist area, and people can find a lot of great finds, anything from jewelry to furniture, you name it, you'll probably find it there. And the Viroqua area is so supportive that, according to the Wisconsin State Journal, out of 4,500 community members here, 3,500 have a membership at the Viroqua Food Co-op, which is super awesome and shows how much the Viroqua people want this area to thrive. So now that I've talked about the current efforts, we can now go into the conclusion. And now that you know more about how this small town worked together to beat Walmart, you can go out and you can research more. And if you are interested in learning more, then you can listen to the Viroqua podcast called 54665. And I talked, and you learn about these by, first I went through the background, and now I've gone through the current efforts. And the next time that you drive through a small town like Viroqua, you can know all of the hard work that went into making it such a great town.